What is up, everyone? Your boy is back, and I'm sure we all have played the game Bully Scholarship Edition, or just Bully, on the PS2 release in 2006. It's become pretty popular ever since PewDiePie did a Let's Play of it back in 2013, 2014. It's been pretty popular ever since then, and it's growing in popularity with YouTubers like Swegta and the Nathan NS. And I'm a huge fan of Bully. It's one of my favorite games of all time. And we're going to be ranking every boss in Bully. Not from best to worst, but we're just going to be ranking them in chronological order. And I'll be giving strategy advice and my overall opinion on each boss. And I'll be telling you which one is my favorite, least favorite, hardest, easiest, all that. Now, believe it or not, there's actually 12 bosses in the game, with 7 main bosses, those being the leaders of each clique, and believe it or not, I do consider Gary the leader of the non-clique students, even though non-cliques don't technically have a leader. It's safe to assume that he is their leader, since he's a final boss and whatnot, and the main antagonist of the game, and probably their strongest character. But yeah, there are 7 main bosses and 5 mini bosses, believe it or not. There's 1 mini boss in each chapter, not counting the boss that you fight, well, the practice fight that happens in Welcome to Bulwark, the first mission. And so yeah, let's get straight to it and rank each and every boss in Bully. Sorry, I'm fanning myself because it's really hot in the garage. Okay. So first, we have Davis White, the mini-boss of Chapter 1, and the boss of the setup, the 3rd mission in the game. Honestly, this boss, Davis White, this boss has, very good build-up and a very good payoff. Let's talk about the build-up. Now, imagine if some guy shot you with a slingshot, ran off, pushed over your friend, and sent all his friends to beat your ass. I mean, of course it wouldn't beat the living crap out of someone like that. And of course the payoff, you get the swing shot, but, I mean, it's a good payoff, but you only had that swing shot for a short amount of time up until the mission to Candidate, where Ernest rewards you with the upgraded swing shot, so you don't even have the first swing shot for an entire chapter. You get the upgraded one later on in Chapter 1. As for the fight itself, it's, pretty dang easy. I would say it's probably the 2nd easiest boss fight in the game. So it has good build-up, good payoff, but the climax itself is not too satisfying, and I'm going to get straight into that. I mean, let's talk about strategy. Like I said, Davis is the 2nd easiest boss in the game. Now, strategy-wise, it can go about this 2 ways. You can either knock him out the normal way if you came unprepared by just throwing bricks and trash can lids at him, and knock him out the old-fashioned way. And pretty much all he do is he'll try to shoot you and knock you out, which isn't really likely to happen. And secondly, if you did come prepared, if you completed Chemistry 1, which you most likely did, then you could just go to your dorm beforehand, use your chemistry set, and get some firecrackers, and then as soon as you get to Davis, just throw fucking 2 firecrackers at him, and boom, boss defeated. So yeah, pretty easy boss fight. Second easiest in the game, in my overall opinion. Has good build-up and good payoff, but not really much of a climax. Secondly, we have the first main boss, Russell, the boss of Chapter 1 and leader of the bullies. If you ask me, yeah, Russell is a very, very fun boss fight. A lot of people might consider him one of the hardest bosses in the game, but I'd say it's pretty easy. I mean, you won't always knock him out on your first try. You won't always win on the first try, but you will win eventually. It's pretty easy strategy-wise. All you gotta do is use their swing shot. Keep your distance. Do your best to avoid Russell, because he runs around the whole pretty much area where the fight takes place. He pretty much just runs around the hole and tries to catch you and ram you into a wall. So just do your best to avoid him and use your swing shot throughout the entire fight. Use your swing shot throughout the entire fight while avoiding him. And whatever you do, do not attack him head on, not even when he's tired. Because even if you do attack him when he's worn out, he'll just puff out his chest and knock you over. And by all means, do not let him slam you, because it is kind of hard to break free from that. I mean, I don't even know how to break free from the slam, but I know there's a way you can break free from it. But if you don't know how to break free from that slam, I mean, the game tells you how, but just don't let him get a hold of you and slam you by all means. Just try your very best to avoid him. Use a swing shot. Don't attack him head on. Just use a swing shot throughout the entire fight, and you should eventually win. Coming in at number 3, the third boss in the game is Biff Taylor, the Bullworth boxing champion, mini boss of Chapter 2, and the second in command of the Preps. I really do think Biff is a fun fight. I mean, it's kind of like the ultimate boxing match in Bully, considering that you're fighting the champion. And I really love how you get 2 bosses in one mission. It really is pretty cool. But yeah, basically strat-wise, all you have to do is shoot him. No, don't shoot him with your swing shot. I made a little speech error there. But yeah, basically just mash the X button, try to get in as many hits as possible, and be on the lookout for when he tries to hit you, and do your best to block him. I don't recommend dodging, since dodging punches requires very precise timing. However, what I do recommend is just do what I say, and spam the X button and try to hit him as many times as possible, and be careful, be on the lookout for when he strikes, and try to block. And then just finish him off with the big punch by holding the X button and releasing it, and yeah, pretty much that's all I gotta say about Biff. The fourth boss of the game is Darby, leader of the Preps and boss of Chapter 2. Now, personally, I think Darby is my favorite fight because it's just such a challenge. Like, you have all the preps coming at you at once, trying to fight you hand to hand, and you basically just gotta do your best to fight them. Now, strategy-wise, there's 3 ways you can fight them. I'm gonna give off 2 common strategies, and then I'm probably gonna excuse me, there's someone outside. Just gonna cover the speaker, wait for him to go away. Sorry guys, I really hate when my video is interrupted, but yeah. Trying to make a damn video here. But yeah, to fight Darby, really all you have to do is, well, like I said, there's 2 common strategies, and then I'll go off my strategy. One way to do it is to, just use the fire extinguisher and just, hit something there. Use a fire extinguisher, try to get in some blows. I mean, here's how you do it. You spray him with the fire extinguisher, and he'll get distracted, and then you attack him with the fire extinguisher, and you keep doing that throughout the entire fight, and he'll eventually get knocked out. And yeah, easy peasy. Just distract him, hit him until he gets knocked out. And you can also block the doors so other preps don't get in, and fight him one-on-one. Now, how I like to do it is, I just like to fight the old-fashioned way. Just take on all the other, leave the doors open, no fire extinguisher. Take on all the other preps whenever they come at you. And as for Darby himself, you just attack him whenever there's an opening. I mean, I guess you can either hit him with a hard punch, or if you learned any new moves from the A Little Help missions, then use those and try to break his blocks and then attack him. But yeah, if you don't know any new moves yet, then just wait for an opening and then attack, and you should also be blocking to defend yourself. Just wait for an opening and then attack, but if you can, do your best to break his block and then attack him. That's probably my favorite fight overall. Preps are my favorite quick, but the reason I love that fight is because there's so much going on at once. And so I gotta say, my favorite boss in the game is probably Darby. Darby Harrington. The 5th boss of the game, and the mini-boss of Chapter 3, is Norton Williams, one of the second-in-commands of the Greasers. Now, for some reason, the Greasers have 2 second-in-commands, those being Norton Williams and Peanut Romano. But the one you have to fight is Norton. This is one of the hardcore boss fights. Now, how you fight him basically is, you just keep your distance, because obviously he has a sledgehammer. He will destroy anything in his path to get to you. And, just keep on shooting him with a swing shot until he's knocked out, and keep your distance in the process, and he'll eventually get knocked out. And plus, I think you earn Lola's respect by completing this mission. So yeah, it really is worth the payoff by defeating Norton. I actually think you earn Lola's respect in Lola's race, but yeah, this is a pretty nice mission. I mean, it's a nice mission, but the boss fight, not so much. I mean, it's hardcore and all, but it's also pretty easy. It's not one of the easiest fights in the game, but it is fairly easy if you know what you're doing and if you just keep your distance. Boss number 6, I believe, is Shawnee. Oh, let me see. Yeah, boss number 6 is Shawnee, leader of the Greasers and main boss of Chapter 3. Now, Johnny Vincent is quite an easy fight. In fact, I would go as far as to say is that he's probably the easiest boss in the game. I mean, I would say the top 3 easiest bosses are Gary, Davis, and then Johnny, because really all you have to do is knock out all the Greasers who are firing at you with their swing shots, which aren't like... Swing shots aren't likely to do a whole lot of damage. The same case with Davis, except this time we gotta knock out multiple people. Just knock out all the Greasers and then beat the crap out of Johnny, and boom, done. You have Greaser's respect. Yeah. Honestly, if you get knocked out on your first try in this fight, and then... I'm sorry, but you are an idiot. My friend thinks Johnny is the hardest boss in the game. I think otherwise, because, like I said, all you really gotta do is knock out all the Greasers and beat the crap out of them. And Johnny's not really that good when it comes to hand-to-hand combat, unlike Darby. So, yeah. Boss number 7 is Ernest. You fight him right after Johnny, and yeah. And unlike most chapters, chapter 4 and 5 have 3 bosses. But yeah, boss number 7 is Ernest. Now this boss fight does have really good build-up, because getting to Ernest alone it's a fucking task, dude. It is a fucking task just to get to Ernest. I mean, at least the mission has checkpoints. At least it has checkpoints. I mean, I think once you get to the part where you have to destroy the alarm thing, I think it saves you right where you are. You gotta knock out all nerds, get to the observatory, destroy the alarm, and break down the door. I mean, it really is a task just to get to Ernest. And honestly, not only is Ernest one of the hardest bosses in the game, but probably also he has one of the hardest missions in the game. I don't think his mission is the hardest overall. However, I do think it is a fairly hard mission. I think the hardest mission is Defender of the Castle. To be quite honest, that's just my honest opinion. Because I just never could pass Defender of the Castle. But yeah. Stronghold Assault is a fairly hard mission. Strat-wise, you're gonna have to be pretty heavily armed just to take out all the nerds and stuff. Otherwise, we will have a hard time just getting to Ernest. But as for the boss itself, really all you need is a swing shot. Just hide behind the pillars and knock down all the platforms. And boom, you should be good. I know I'm making it sound easy, but not getting hit by one of its bombs or his fucking spud gun, his fucking upgraded spud gun is a pretty hard task. Because that spud gun can shoot multiple potatoes at once. And yeah, spud means potato. It can shoot multiple potatoes at once. Hence taking a lot of damage if you don't hide behind the pillars. I'll be in a second! Sorry about that. But yeah, just hide behind the pillars, knock down all the platforms, and then you're good to go, really. But really, it really is very important to hide behind the pillars while you're knocking down the platforms. And you're gonna want to break open some boxes and get some sodas, get some bean colas to fill up on health. Because there are multiple boxes around the observatory they can break open, and each one contains a soda. So you will have to refill on health throughout this boss fight. And that's literally how hard it is. But just do your best, hide behind the pillars, and try to knock down the platforms. And really, really conserve on those beam colas. I really do recommend you conserve on those. And try not to drink too many of them, because they are hidden throughout the observatory in boxes. But yeah, just do your very best to fucking knock down those platforms. And I can't really say avoid the projectiles and everything that he throws at you, because honestly that shit is pretty hard to avoid, because he always knows where you're going. And he's always fucking attacking you, so it's pretty hard to avoid him. But, yeah. Something's going on in the house. But yeah, just knock down the platforms and you should be good. I'm gonna make a part 2 to this because there's a lot of drama going on right now. So yeah, I'll see you guys.